Okay, that's one of us. Yo. All right, cool. All right, we're going to show something here real quick while we're waiting for a couple of minutes for everybody else to come in instead of just waiting. Um, it's very typical. People get here late. We're going to go ahead and show you a video of today in the trade room. Thought you guys might find this interesting while we're waiting. Rockstar on the 6E. Let's call that a naked Rockstar. Right, +5. That was a nice, slow, easy one for everybody to be able to get in on. Even if you're slow or you have this propensity to chase trades, we had a nice push up. Here's our meter we were just talking about. The black bar telling us we have some nice strong momentum. We have some velocity, high velocity bar. We have our speed tick telling us that these trades were being processed really fast. We have our overbought, which is the pink outline. We have our pullback alert saying that the buyers were well in control, were sitting and waiting. Buyers and sellers got in a fight with each other. Sellers started to take over. Open of this bar now, we had a divergent condition. So because we had all those conditions in place, we have the Rockstar. Rockstar prints here. The buy was on the open of the, or I'm sorry, the sell on the open of this bar. And it just sat there at the open of the bar, so it was really easy for anybody, even beginners, to jump in and not get left behind here. This was an easy sell here. It took a few minutes, sat there for a few seconds, and just easily went back down here to right where we expected it to. And now what it does, I have no clue. This is our sweet spot right here. This is what we trade. This is where we have a high probability of success. All right, so watching the 6E, the CL somewhat, but not really unless it starts pushing more. Like that. GC, pick your poison. Shorted the 6E. That's the one I was looking at. You could short the CL if you got a decent bill on it. Even the GC was a good one, depending on which one you jump on. All right, +5 on the 6E. Same thing. Let's look at this again. Notice the black. It's actually even turning into a lighter gray here. So we've got stronger momentum. And this, the lighter the color, the more probable the pullback. We have an overbought condition, meaning that exhaustion is likely to be set again. We have a speed tick, which says that this bar was likely manipulated now relative to these bars. Okay? This is an upthrust bar that we see almost every time before we get this pullback here. Okay, so we're looking for this longer bar relative to these bars. We also have a pullback and a ricochet. Again, same thing as here. The buyers fell in charge until the sellers were sitting up here waiting for them. And even though price is moving up, we've identified that momentum has actually shifted direction. And that's when the rockstar print. And this is where we put our sell order on. And down she goes. Same with the CL. Up. We got a push up. It backed up a little bit and then dropped. Nice. GC also hit. So I've hit my target for the day. All right, got a little bump up here on the NQ. Oversold, beat tick. Shorted at the Rockstar. Actually got a better fill. And +5. All right, pretty good day today. What, 7 winners and no losers today. Hit my target at +3, net +3 winners today. And then after I put that money in the bank and shifted to Sim, I got 4 more winners. Anybody else hit their trading goal for the day? Excellent. Good job, everybody. So do you, all of you are hitting, you have a target of wins and losses, not dollars or ticks, right? Is that what everybody's doing? I know that's what I do. I was just checking. Yeah, it does take some time, take some work. All right. So this is what you just saw in the trade room is what I'm going to be talking about today. Everybody can still hear me okay, right? This is what I'm going to be talking about today and showing you how we do it and what we do. Now, some of you have joined us because you may be kind of stuck in a trading rut. And well, so, you know, you've got a couple of choices to make. If you're kind of stuck in a rut, you don't seem to be making any traction or quite possibly even sliding backwards. So we're here to offer you something of a paradigm shift, okay? This type of trading that we do, if you watch that video and you paid attention, is probably a little bit different than what you've been taught is the way you're supposed to trade. Okay, and that's what I struggled with for many years. So you've got a couple of choices. You can keep doing the same thing and hope for different results, or you can make some sort of a change. Okay, so I'm hoping to help you with a paradigm. Okay, and that's a fundamental change in the approach or underlying assumptions that you have about trading and what trading's supposed to be. You know, it's a way of thinking of it one way to another, and this is exactly what happened to me. A major paradigm shift came and hit me like a ton of bricks when I realized that all I want to do now, first I wanted to get rich at trading, you know, and make an income and all of that, and I realized that wasn't happening. Then my paradigm shift was, hey, can I just be a winning trader? Is that even possible? So winning, I decided, okay, winning means ending the day with more money than you started with. And that can be $1. That turns you into a winning trader. Okay, so that got my mind thinking. How many days in a row? You might have seen Laura make reference to the 10 days in a row thing that she was working on. That's to help work on this paradigm shift, to begin thinking of yourself as a winning trader, and that you can do it with these very small trades that we do. Okay, this is one of my favorite little cartoons about paradigm shift. Okay, now we can continue to try to drag those rocks uphill, or we can work on something better, do something to help move things along. All right, so the reason I bring this up is because a lot of us got into, and the first thing we learn in trading is that well, you got to trade the trend. And if you're a counter trend trader, you're bad. You're a bad person, and you're a gunslinger, and it goes contrary to all of the people believe that are professional traders and all of that. Okay, so most of us get into trading and we learn, okay, well, we have to try to trade a trend, and to trade a particular system, you got to get in, and then you got to just ride it out, right? So you maybe get in here, hoping to hit a target up here, and we're supposed to just be happy with enduring a market that looks like this until hopefully we get up here, right? This is what we're being told that we're supposed to do. Now, most of us that get into trading are small lot traders or single lot traders, and it's very difficult for us to emotionally ride this out. So what makes more sense? Or some quick and numerous trades and some quick profits and put it in the bank, okay, when the price turns, regardless of what the trend is, okay? So most traders are still doing it the old way, which is great for us. It's awesome, and we'll show you why. But it's really time to understand that this isn't the case anymore. Even though all of the information that you have in the trading systems that most people use today are built on this, when in actuality, this is our competition, or at least what's really moving the market. These are the modern markets, folks. These are the ones, this is what we're trading. So do you think these guys would be able to step in and do exactly what they've always done? Because that's what we're being taught when we're told that we need to just ride that emotional roller coaster of trend trading. Okay? So the emotions are, when do you get out? When do you bail out of a trade that's going the wrong way, or if you've been way behind, when do you, if you can get back to even, do you jump out then? Or if you take a few ticks, do you jump out then so you can turn a loser into a winner? Or do you go ahead? There are just so many things, so many emotions for us little guys, our single lot traders, to try to go through, to try to follow the trend to where you might hit a target up there. Most of us have proven, and I proved it to myself, that I am not capable. Something, I decided I was hardwired wrong or something. I'm not capable to weigh every decision possible at every step of the way that I could to be safe. Okay, price is going against me. I need to be safe. Should I get out now before it goes further against me? Or should I wait until maybe it's back in my favor? Okay, it's in my favor. Should I take a profit now, or should I stay with it? Oh, wait, I could have had a profit here, but now it's down here. Oh, darn, I should have done that. So we all have this issue with emotions. Now, here's something that all of these conventional wisdoms that say the trend is your friend don't tell you. It is nearly impossible for us single lot traders, small lot traders, to make a living, or at least make any kind of money trading a trend like that. Okay? The only way to do it is if you're scaling with multiple contracts. That's the only way to make money trading a trend like that. And most of us never get to a point in our account where we're good enough or smart enough or rich enough to be able to do that. Okay? Statistically, and I'm not just making this up, statistically, you will not, nor will you ever overcome your emotions. You can't help it. You're human, unfortunately. So I decided I'm going to just stop trying to. That's where that trading system that you just saw in the trade room came from. Because I suck so bad at managing my emotions that I decided I got to do something. I've either got to quit or I've got to figure out a way to do this where emotion management can be reduced to almost nothing. Okay? So no more emotional baggage. Plus teaching myself how to be a winning trader, and trade for just a little bit and put it in the bank. Don't try to trade for a lot. Just try to trade. Just try to win. Okay? Get good at winning. And then as you get good at it, then you start becoming, instead of a one-lot trader, you're a two-lot trader. Okay? You're never going to be able to outsmart these guys. Okay? The days on being able to count on the big moves for the little guys, they're over, folks. You don't think the smart guys have already figured out what all the retraders are doing? No, they're not stop hunting. They're much smarter than that. All right? Two-step process. Step one, start small and be consistent. Do something better than anybody else in the world. Something small, something tiny, but consistently. Step two is stay small and be consistent. Don't keep trying to go for more and more and more. That's how Las Vegas was built. You know how much money is won in Las Vegas every day? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure it's millions and millions of dollars are won every single day. Unfortunately, just a little bit more is lost every day because people insist on giving it back. And that's human nature. Okay? So you can do this in a lot of small repeated efforts day after day after day. All right? All right, so we look at predicting a pullback. So we look at a chart here. And this is how I came about this whole thing. And I just want to point something out here. This particular chart, if you look down in this corner, you'll notice that says 2013. That's how old this image is. And I just keep reusing it because it's available. It's it's just in my group of images I use. But look at this. This is a 5-year-old image. Now, if you remember on that video that I just showed, on the 6E, I talked about an upthrust bar. And I said, look at the bars just prior to the upthrust bar. That was today. This is 5 years ago. Look at these bars. Look at this bar. Look what happened right after it. All right? We got these bars and then a couple of upthrust bars. So I'm not making this. There's these bars and a couple of down thrust and some down thrust. All right? So this isn't new. Here we go again. Channeling, and then look at the length of this bar relative to these bars. And then price jump went up. All right? This stuff has been working for a long time. We've been doing the same thing for a long time. So what I did is I said, I started noticing this. And I thought, okay, now how can I measure what's going on at these points where price stops and turns for what seems like no particular reason? So that's where our indicators came from. That's how we know, almost without question, with a very high degree of probability, where price is going to suddenly stop and turn. Okay? We trade pullbacks because they are very predictable. This is what gives us an edge. They are very predictable by measuring lots of different data points in the current bar. Okay? We have very precise trade entry points. You heard me say it on the video. At the open of the bar is where my trade is. Okay? And then if you heard me say I got an even better fill, that's because as the bar opened, it backed up so I could get a price better than the open of the bar. I actually get that a lot. That's part of my trading strategy, is to not just get the open of the bar, but to get better than the open of the bar. Okay? So the predictable behavior, the precise entry, and chart patterns. We don't have any really hard chart patterns to decipher and make decisions from. Any of these shades of gray. That's the problem with chart patterns, is there's so many shades of gray when it comes to deciphering chart patterns. We do use chart patterns, but we give you indicators to tell you when they're in place, right? So you don't even have to figure it out. This is really easy to design a set of rules around. We've got 5 or 6, maybe 8 rules that you can use to design your own trade plan. You might want to use 3 of them. You might want to use 5 of them. You might want to use all 8 of them. But you can design your own trade plan and trade our system, trade right along in the trade room with the rest of us. Many of the trade room members are here. And we all have a little different risk criteria. We all have different reasons for trading. You know, want to get different things out of it, different risk tolerance as it relates to, I don't know, money or fear or amount of time you can trade, or what it is you're trading for, why you're trading. You know, there's so many different combinations that we're not all the same. So why should we all try to trade the same, right? And very important part of what we do is they're generally ignored by most retail traders as good potential. Again, because everybody's kind of stuck in the dark ages, which is great for us because there's not a lot of competition for these trades. All right, so other advantages. Small drawdown. All right, we never have a bad day. All right, sure, we don't have days where we hit it out of the park and we just make tons and tons of money, but we also don't have that kicked in the gut, oh, I don't know how I'm going to recover from this type A either. The longer you're in a market, the more speculative your trading becomes. All right? And that's more so today than ever. And why is that? I showed you those supercomputers. We can get in using all kinds of old technical analysis type of research and fundamental type of analysis research to decide when to enter a trade. Those big computers don't give a crap about that. They're going to do what they're going to do. If you're using old fundamentals to enter a trade and it says, well, price should do this and this over the next, hour and a half, those guys don't give a crap. They're going to turn on those supercomputers. It's going to run an algorithm and it's going to beat you to death because you left your money out there where all the sharks are swimming. And because we have such limited market exposure, it's a much less stressful way to trade, and it's easily quantifiable with the confluence of multiple indicators from multiple different data sources, all suggesting a weakness in the current direction of price movement. It's all about understanding where the weaknesses occur. And if you can identify a weakness, that's our edge. And we're better than anybody at it. All right, so what's a pullback trade? Okay, you saw some in the video, but very simply, here's a pullback trade. We've got the speed tick. Okay, this is our speed tick. We use order flow analysis. Basically, what this is saying is that the price is the orders, the number of orders are being processed very, very quickly through the exchange. Not resting orders, processed orders, time and sales orders. Okay, and they're coming through so quickly that it's unlikely retail traders could do that. So that means this bar has been manipulated by those supercomputers I showed you. Okay? We're going to use volume spread analysis. You heard me on the video talking about the churning. Price came down. All the sellers were involved here. Sellers. We started getting down here. The buyers are sitting down here at this support line waiting. As soon as the sellers hit here, they're getting tired. Okay? We've got some exhaustion potential coming in. Buyers are waiting for them to get tired, and then they jump in, and this causes a churning activity. The buyers and sellers begin to fight. That's what these dots tell us. There's an entire trading system inside these dots. We're only going to give you the information you need to make a decision. We're not going to give you all of the other charts that this volume spread analysis trading system requires, and all the other indicators and all the other decision functions. We're not going to give you all of that. We're going to give you a yes, no. That's it. Does it exist? Does it not exist? That's it. That's how we make decisions. Okay? We've got this lightning bolt here called the flash, which is our divergence signal. Divergence says even though price is going this way, we've identified that momentum has already shifted directions. And when that happens, price will almost always follow momentum. You need to, follow momentum, and you need to write that down. If you got nothing else out of this, if you can learn how to read divergence or use one of our divergence indicators, we got several of them, you're going to be way ahead of the game if you understand simple that price will follow momentum when they get out of sync with each other. So momentum, this is a hard push down. We actually have, this is also in slide, but these change colors. I showed you that in the video. These change colors when we have strong momentum. So we have a strong push. I also showed you the velocity. Now we're looking at exhaustion. This is an oversold condition. This bar is oversold. What does oversold mean? What did I say we're looking for? Weakness. We're looking for a weakness. Oversold is a weakness. Now we've combined all of these things to find our trade setup. Now, we take the best of those, combine them, and now we have this. This is our rock star indicator. Okay? And we're going to show you some rock star setups here in a little bit. The processed order flow suggests that price is currently being manipulated on this bar. Price exhaustion is setting in due to the oversold condition of this bar. Although price continues to drop, momentum has climbed this way. So on the open of this bar is where you put on your buy order. I'm going to show you all of this. All of this is inside of the Rockstar indicator. This has by far become our most popular indicator. All right, let me show you what this looks like. You already looked at. I meant to open this. Let me see. Where's that? I'm going to show you what this looks like on a chart with and without indicators. And this is what, if you're not trading with us yet, on the left is what you would be seeing, and on the right is what we see. Okay? Now, little note about indicators for those of you that think indicators tell you what to do. Indicators do one thing. They indicate when a condition exists. They do not tell you, oh, take a trade. Okay, so many people look at this and they go, oh, look at all these false signals. I wish I could pull three people through the monitor across the internet and just shake them when they say, what about these false signals? There is no false signal. The signal is what's happening inside this bar. That doesn't say it's a good bar to take a trade or a good time to take a trade. So I'm going to play this video so you can see how these indicators print. Okay, let me back up a little bit. I'm dragging the slider instead of, maybe I can speed it up. No, can't do that. Oh, it went right to the end. Oh, now my mouse is acting funny. All right, let me drag the slider. All right, watch. You see how when a condition exists on the current bar, notice we read on this couple of things. This is our momentum indicator. It's black and it's getting lighter. The lighter the more, the higher the chance that exhaustion is setting in, that the pullback's about to happen. Okay. We just hit a point where the speed of the orders being processed on this bar have reached a rate at which we believe this bar is being manipulated rather than it being retail traders. Now, notice on the open of this bar when this printed. This would be, well, a naked rock star. This on this video, this is supposed to print up here. Something happened, so this dot gives this, and I'll show you this in a few minutes. Makes this a naked rock star trade setup, what we call one of our main trade setups. Right here is where I'm going to put on an order, and I'm going to sell. Now, if you were watching this, you really don't have anything to tell you when it's time to put on that order. I mean, for all you know, this is going to just keep going, right? Maybe you're trading a breakout or something, and you're just hoping this is going to keep going. But I know that it's about doing that and start doing this. And if I know that, I've got a pretty good edge. Watch another one. See that on that bar? See how many different things happen on that bar? First, it starts out green. Look, it's just plain old bar. And then it jumps and turns black, saying that we've got some strong momentum. It gets oversold. Pink outline, we get a speed tick saying that orders are going through really, really fast. And we have our pullback alert saying that all of the orders, all the buyers were really excited. And you saw them just jumped up here. Sellers are sitting up here waiting, causing a churning action inside of this bar. Open of this bar. Even though price is going up, we have an upward short-term trend here. This is telling us that momentum has already shifted directions. And that's all we need. That's all we need right there. There was our winner right there. We entered on this bar. We got our winner here before the next bar even opened. Now, I could show you this over and over and over again. This is what we trade every single day, day in and day out. It's simple. It's small. Look, there's the rock star. Look, we had all kinds of indicators going up, right? That's not a trade setup. Oh, got more indicators of stuff going on, but that's not a trade setup. Got more indicators. Look, all of this, we're getting weaker and weaker because we're oversold. These bars are being manipulated. We're getting lots of churning action, buying and selling. But we don't hit the trigger until divergence sets in, and there's our rock star. So we short it right there. Now, this is what I talk about for the better fill. On the open of this bar, it actually backed up. So I put on my sell order up here. I could have put it right here, but I got my order in up here. So I got a better fill. So by there, I'm out. See that? And again. All right, I'm going to stop here for a second. Any questions about what you've seen so far? I do. I still go for 5 ticks. Yep, it's working so well for me for so many years. Yes, I use the Trading Dome. I do not use Chart Trader. It's too slow. Much more efficient with the Superdome. You can the static only, of course, but you can practice that. And we have what's called the Fast Forward program. We actually have a designed practice session that teaches you how to gain the experience that you need to get really good at trading on the Superdome. All right, anybody have any issue with anything that I've talked about so far? That you just don't believe that it's possible, or that we can do it, or that's big enough edge. Here, I'll show you something. If you don't believe it's a big enough edge, this is just an image I have on my desktop. Take a screenshot of that. Yes. Yes, the Rockstar is the one that tells me when to put the trade on, but I need the other indicators to give me a heads up that when the Rockstar prints, I'm ready to place that order as fast as I can. You do, Tom. You do. You have to be really fast. But you know what? Anybody can do it. Who's here that thought that they couldn't do it and finds that they actually can most of the time? Sure, we all miss trades. But is any of our traders here that also thought that it was too much for them and that they wouldn't do it, but it's really not that hard? All it takes is practice, just like anything else. Yes, yes, we do. I always enter with that's called a bracket order. So I always entered with a 5-tick target and a 7-tick stop. And I will only manage my stop, and I'll shorten it if the conditions change. For example, if I get into a trade and everything's moving really good, and then price just goes sideways. So say we came up here and price hit here, and then I entered this trade, and then price just starts channeling sideways. I'm going to start moving my stop up so that I'll move it to a -5, a -3, a -1, then leave it at break even if I can, if price is going sideways. Because I wanted to get into a market that's like this. Did not want to get into a market that's like this. Okay? All of this making sense to everybody. Look at this bar. Now this bar is a little bit bigger than this bar, but these two bars are a lot bigger than these bars. So these are the upthrust bars that I was just telling you about. There's our rock star. There's our overposition. There's our pullback. There's where I short it. And there's my edge. I'm done, money in the bank, and I'm out. I knew. See, if you're over here, how do you know what's going to happen next? You're probably thinking price is going to keep doing what it did the last 3 bars. I mean, that's logical. You're going to think, well, that's pretty logical. But look at the size of this bar. Look at these bars. Look what price does. Yeah, the fast forward program. Okay, so there's a we record the trade room every day, and we make it available for in the fast forward program. Einstein members are have access to the fast forward program also, or you can buy it independently. Inside that program are videos that teach you the trade setups. There's also a potential trade log that I keep track during trading. Doesn't mean I traded it. It means those are potential trades that you can practice. Okay, so I keep track of it during trading. So you have that log, you have the video. Then we're going to teach you how to, inside the fast forward program, we teach you how to download and use market replay data, how to set up market replay, and how to set up your charts, how to set up your trading domes, how to go to a particular time that you saw on the trade room video. Maybe you say, okay, there was a Rockstar trade at 9:35 in the morning, or no, that would be during the open. Let's say at 10:35 in the morning, and okay, I want to practice that. So I'm going to set everything up for 10:30, and I'm going to hit the play button, and I'm going to watch that trade set up again, and I'm going to actually trade it on my trading dome in market replay. And if I get good at it, hit that play button, and then right after that, hit the play button of the video, and you can be trading right along with the trade room video. So it's almost like you were there in the trade room, even if you weren't. You could trade right along with us at 10 o'clock the next night, or whenever, or over the weekend. Now, because of the efficiency of this, you don't have to just sit and wait for the markets. Okay, you could actually take 8 trade setups and practice them in an hour, and practice them several times, and gain that much practice and experience instead of sitting in the trade room waiting and waiting and waiting, which is what we do. You know, when you're actually trading, you have to wait. But to practice, you can practice it as many times as you want. This has been an absolute godsend for many of our traders. That's the funny thing about trading. People don't know or understand the right things to practice. So we set up a program. All right. So we're looking for really simple. It gives us information about the data that's coming in right now. Gives us very precise information for very precise order entry. Now, we've actually combined some of those for the new Rockstar indicator to make it even easier. Well, you know, you say work. I get that question a lot. Does it work? Yes, if it's on a chart, it will work. But I can't imagine why anybody would trade on range bars. I still don't get it. Time is one of the most important elements in trading. People have figured out, you know, you get a really pretty chart if you remove time. And that seems to, they say it removes the noise or clears the clutter. And I fell for that for so many years. And I mean, maybe it works for you. I've never actually, I met a lot of people that try to trade ranges and Rinkos and all that stuff, and they swear by it. But then again, they tell me, well, no, I'm not really a profitable trader. But I like the charts because they look so neat and clean. but they're removing the most, to me, one of the most important things, and that's time. So the range charts have very little utility to somebody that trades like what we do. All right, 3 questions. What markets do you trade? Okay, so currently we have the the 6E, the NQ, the YM, the CL, and the GC. I hope you know what all those are. They're all 1 minute charts. A very fast tick chart will work as well. I use NinjaTrader and I use Rhythmic, but you can use CQG, Continuum, Rhythmic, Kinetic, any unfiltered data. You cannot use filtered data. You can't use E-Trade. You can't use e-signal. No, you cannot use e-signal. It is not sufficient. All right, e-signal is not a good data provider for high performance indicators like ours. Now, but what you can do, you can continue to trade with broker, but use the kinetic data for your charts and use NinjaTrader, but still place the trades with broker. So use NinjaTrader for charting. Use kinetic. I think for most of the instruments we trade, it's going to cost you about $35 to $60 a month. I don't remember. And you can do all of this, but place your trades with e-signal. You do not have to chart with, and that's something that a lot of traders get confused about. You do have to chart with the same data feed that your broker provides. You can use any charting that you want and just place trades with your broker. It's going to cost you a few extra bucks a month. My overhead at my company, when I was in the construction business, had a couple of hot tub stores. When I see that I have a $60 a month kinetic bill, it's like, really? That's it? That's all it takes? And I get all of that? I have not, Bob. It's still 5 and 7. That may happen over time. It would take more than 2 months. I've had a pretty good last couple of months, Bob, so it's highly unlikely that I would adjust them. I had I would say bad. Last week, this week's been good. Last week was not one of my best weeks. Yeah, Stephen, we are. Yeah, last week was not one of my better weeks, but it was about a break-even week for me, and I haven't had one of those in a really long time. So for me, that's a bad week. But this week's been really good, and so I haven't really changed my targets and stops, and I certainly wouldn't after 2 months of a different market. I would have to see a longer-term trend. I think this is the type of market we're seeing now, the volatility we're seeing now, is not giving me any indication that that's going to be necessary. Although the CL has kind of given me pause over the last few. But that's, I'm slow to change. It took me a long time to zero in on the 5 and 7, and until my accountant and my bookkeeper and my wife all come to me and say, your income's dropping, chances are I'm not going to be changing it anytime soon. All right, so those of you that are afraid of indicators, that think that there are too many indicators on our charts, keep something in mind. Okay, indicators only give us a notion into what's going on. We need a particular confluence of indicators before they even matter. But we use indicators all the time, right? What are you looking at here? What is this? This is a bunch of indicators. And these indicators help you make decisions. And if you can read these and understand these, you're going to have no problem with ours. Okay, so, we've got a gas gauge, so that's for exhaustion. Running out of gas. We've got RPMs, which is the flow of orders. how they're coming in and how fast. Just if you're in the right range on the RPMs, you're not going to worry about anything. You probably stop looking at RPMs because you can hear it and feel it if you drive a standard, right? You know, the turn signal for changing directions. These are all indicators to help you drive a car. And you find it after you use them for a while, it's really easy. So if you can drive a car, you can see how not complicated this is. If you want more information, Connor can get you some specific videos. If you want something specific or just something general, you can talk to Connor and he'll get you hooked up, or just go to our YouTube site. All right. Now, here's one of my favorite images that many of you that have been here before in many of our webinars. But this is an excellent picture about what we do when it comes to trading. Okay, this is excellent. When you look at this, what do you see? I see a group of people reacting to some sudden and unexpected danger. And because of this sudden and unexpected danger, all of them are going to do about the same thing, right? But here's the important part. This is an image. This is a picture. But I know exactly what happened after this picture. If I see that, I know exactly what happened. I can anticipate what these people's next moves are going to be based on the reaction to this danger. They're going to all put their hands down, assuming nobody got really hurt. They're going to all put their hands down. Then they're going to have a little nervous laughter. All right? So that's what's going to happen right after that. It's like I have a freaking crystal ball, isn't it? I'm just reading, and that's all we're doing with trading. Now, I can't tell you what they're going to be doing 5 minutes from now, or an hour from now, or a week from now. I have no idea. So I don't place any bets on what they're going to be doing then. But I do know what they're going to do the instant that danger has passed. And that's what we're looking at here. Okay? Do we have any questions? We can go over the video again if you'd like. Whoops, hold on a second. There. I guess some of you might have missed the video. I'm not sure how many of you came in afterwards. Okay, all right. Well, let me play that again. Let's see if I can find it again. This video that I'm referring to was a video of today's activity in the trade room. And I've got to find, there it is. So sit back and relax and make some notes, okay? Make some notes, ask some questions, and you get to see what happened in the trade room as I moderated the trade room this morning live. Rockstar on the 6E. Let's call that a naked Rockstar. Right, +5. That was a nice, slow, easy one for everybody to be able to get in on, even if you're slow or you have this propensity to chase trades. We had a nice push up. Here's our meter we were just talking about. The black bar is telling us we have some nice strong momentum. We have some velocity, high velocity. We have our speed tick telling us that these trades were being processed really fast. We have our overbought, which is the pink outline. We have our pullback alert saying that the buyers were well in control, were sitting and waiting. Buyers and sellers got in a fight with each other. Sellers started to take over. Open of this bar now, we had a divergent condition. So because we had all those conditions in place, we have the Rockstar. Rockstar prints here. The buy was on the open of the, or I'm sorry, the sell was on the open of this bar. And it just sat there at the open of the bar, so it was really easy for anybody, even beginners, to jump in and in here. This was an easy sell here. It took a few minutes out there and just easily went back and dropped here to right where we expected it to. And now what it does, I have no clue. This is our sweet spot right here. This is what we trade. This is where we have a high probability of success. All right, so watching the 6E, the CL somewhat, but not really unless it starts pushing more. Like that. GC, pick your poison. Shorted the 6E. That's the one I was looking at. Could short the CL if you got a decent bill on it. Even the GC was a good one, depending on which one you jumped on. Right? +5, E. Same thing. Let's look at this again. Notice the black. It's actually even turning into a lighter gray here. So we've got stronger momentum. And this, the lighter the color, the more probable the pullback. We have an overbought condition, meaning that exhaustion is likely to be set again. We have a speed tick, which says that this bar was likely manipulated. Now look at the length of this bar relative to these. Okay, this is an upthrust bar that we see almost every time before we get this pullback here. Okay, so we're looking for this longer bar relative to these bars. We also have a pullback alert and a ricochet. Again, same thing as here. The buyers were well in charge until the sellers were sitting there waiting for them. And even though price is moving up, we've identified that momentum has actually shifted direction. And that's when, right. And this is where we put our sell order on. And down she goes. Same with the CL. Up. We got a push up. It backed up a little bit and then dropped. Nice. GC also hit. So I've hit a target for the day. All right. A little bump up here on the NQ. Oversold, beat tick. Shorted it with the Rockstar. Actually got a better fill. And +5. All right, pretty good day today. What, 7 winners and no losers today. Hit my target at +3 net +3 winners today. And then after I put that money in the bank and shifted to Sim, I have 4 more winners. Anybody else hit their trading goal for the day? Excellent. Good job, everybody. So do you still, all of you are hitting, you have a target of win losses, not dollars or ticks, right? Is that what everybody's doing? I know that's what I do. I was just checking. Yeah, it does take some time, takes some work. All right. So that's actually available online if you want to watch it again on our YouTube site. That we have there are more of those videos on our YouTube page. John, I've been trading this system for a very long time. And I'm really good at it, as you might imagine, because I've done the work. I've done the practice. I do trade multiple lots, but I didn't start out that way. And I don't recommend anybody start out that way. This is one of the few trading systems where you can start small and just learn to be a winning trader and start to grow your account and then add a contract and keep doing what you're doing and keep getting better at it and keep growing. All right. So I do have a way of scaling into my trades, but it's not necessary. All right. It's not necessary that you get, I mean, it's certainly something that you want to work up to, but you can trade this system on a single lot or small lots that you cannot successfully do trend trading. They will never tell you that. You can keep trying, but it'll never happen. At least not in my experience. It didn't happen with me, and I never met anybody that it happened for. And you've heard the statistics that 95% of the people that try trading are going to fail. And in my experience, that's probably about right. I don't know where that statistic came from, but that's about right because they're still trying to trade small lots for long runs in these new markets. All right. So I do make sure I cover costs. This little graphic I gave you, did you do a screenshot of this? Did you look at this graphic? This includes the fees. This has fees taken out. This is $5 instruments and this is $10 instruments. So fees are removed from those totals. We have had several rows. Honestly, a lot of people don't even tell me. They just go and do the combo. A lot of times we find out afterwards. We have one guy that actually came in and made a video for us on his experience with doing the combine. So we do have that. But I wouldn't recommend it any soon. You got a lot of work to do, a lot of practice to do before you try to get a funded trading account. You really have a lot of work to do before that. I wouldn't recommend that anytime soon. That's like buying a set of golf clubs and saying, "Yeah, do you know anybody on the PGA Tour that's using these golf clubs?" Yeah, I don't know how to golf, but these are good golf clubs, so I want to use a PGA Tour. Anybody else using them? So that's kind of the same thing. So get the tools, learn how to use them, get good at it, and then look at when you've developed a good winning record, then look at that combine. All right. So we've got, of course, some special offers for you guys that are here. We've got a bunch of different packages. We've taken some of our more popular packages and we've added some things to them, and then discounted the crap out of them for these different packages. So you can see what's in these packages. You can go to the secondbraintrading.com/current-special, or click on that link that I just put in there, and you can see everything that's included and the reprices versus our sale price. This is going to go on until Tuesday of next week, because we're going to probably start coasting right around Wednesday, right into Thanksgiving. So you want to take advantage of this before then if you can. If you have any questions, just send us a question at support@theintentionaltrader.com. If you see anything on here that you want some different combination or some different package, just send us an email and we'll see what we can for you. If you want to look at that fast forward program, we can certainly put that in there for you. If Connor just volunteered me. He said anybody that buys today can have a private meeting with me to set up everything on your computer for you and show you how to use it. Well, okay, you say so. I promise. Connor just we have another little chat thing that we do in the background, and Connor does all of the sales, and he's your contact guy. I'm kind of the tech guy, you might imagine, and he just volunteered me for that. So I thought, any questions? I think you guys have had some good ones so far. Happy to answer more questions for you if you've got them. I see people typing, so I'm waiting. Good, John. I hope it was enough for you to help make an informed decision if this looks like something that you might be interested in. We'd be happy to have you. Yeah, Rose, here's the thing about what we call the Einstein package. That's our one and done package, and you might be interested in that because anything that we ever offer that's in our trade room, that we have on our charts in our trade, anything that we build that's new, our Einstein, which is just our renamed VIP package, we just renamed it Einstein, all those people get it for free. So, for example, the Rockstar just came out, one of the most popular indicators we've ever had. All of our VIPs got it for free. We have a few other indicators. The NRS zone, everybody got it for free. All of our Einsteiners got it for free. Anything that we come up with, if you're in the Einstein, yeah, talk to Connor. He was going to have one next week, I think, but talk to Connor. He'll offer it to you, I'm sure, right? He'll kind of clue you in on what it is, or at least tell you what day it's going to go on sale. Sorry. Yeah, just send us an email and Connor will get you up to speed on what he's planning for next week. And that's by far, by the way, Rose, that's by far our most popular package, by far. And if you get to a point where it seems good to you, but you're just not sure, if you want to talk to some of our other traders, we're happy to give you references. We always give references. Oh yeah, everything's NT8. We only develop for NT8 forward now, Stephen. Of course, we were NT7 for a long time, but For example, the Rockstar isn't even available on NT7. NRS Zone isn't available on NT7. We aren't developing backwards. We're NT8 and forward. It does, Rob. It does. It will provide signals, absolutely. And should you choose to use it that way, which many people do, that would be awesome. But in our trade room, that's not how we do it. Okay? But we do, and it does provide good signals for those for different time frames. I just can't speak intelligently about them because I don't trade them every day. But we do have people, we sell a lot of stuff just right off our website to people that we've never met. And here's how I know that they're using them. I got a couple of things. I can see when people, I don't look very often, but if I have to check, I can go and I can see that people's indicators have been authorized to work on their NinjaTrader, right? So they send, as soon as they put an indicator on a chart, it sends a signal out to our servers, and our servers say, yes, he's a licensed user. You can go ahead and put it on the chart. Okay, so we have a where I can see if I choose to look, but like I said, I rarely do because who has time for that? But I also have people that will maybe buy a new computer, and they said, and they send in a change of machine ID request form, and it's been like 6 years since I've heard from them. Oh, speaking of 6 years, where's Mark? Mark, I thought I saw you here. Are you here? Oh, he's gone. He's been with us a long time. He was here a little while ago. You can, Rose. You certainly can. I would get good at it and get trying to emulate what we do before you start trying to change it too much. Stephen, the McDiver is one of our divergence indicators, and the McDiver was the second divergence indicator that we have. Send us a request and we'll explain first we had the flash, which is a divergence from the RSI. Well, the algorithm that I wrote up, and no, I didn't do all the math. I actually figured out what I wanted to see, and then I sent that to somebody that does math, and they came up with that, and I sent that to a programmer. The programmer wrote the program, sent it back, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. And it was killer. And it worked so good that I thought, all we're using is the RSI. I wonder if it would work good with the MACD. So I applied that same algorithm to the MACD. And I'll be damned, it worked awesome too. So then we use those two for a while, and now we have one that's called the Super D that has those two plus 7 different 7 total, 5 others, momentum oscillators inside the indicator. And the Super D is on any of these packages, it's on the next level up. And again, if you want to look at the next level up, just send us a support request and Connor will have a chat with you and fill you in on all that. All right. Nice. Excellent. All right. No other questions. We're going to go call it a night and cut everybody loose to go have dinner. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we answered any of your questions. If you've been thinking about this. Oh, Rose asked about the mhometer. Oh, I'm sorry. So here's the mhometer. Let me show you. Let me put video up again. And I will show you the mhometer. You saw it. I was talking about it changing colors. You remember the changing color indicator where it goes from black to a lighter color? Where'd that video go? Hold on. I just started it. There it is. Nope, not that one. This one. All right. Now, here's a problem that I had. Let's see if there's a place I can actually show you the problem. All right. See this right here? This is a rock star. It's a black one. If you see that 3D on top of the rock star, that's the super D that I was telling you about, Stephen. Here it'll tell you which oscillator, which oscillators are creating this super D signal. Okay? So behind that is a rock star. It's a black one. Now, people love rock stars. They love the trades, and they see this, and they just want to jump in a trade. The most important part about what we do, and the very first thing I told you about, was weakness, right? We're looking for weakness. We're looking for signs of exhaustion. Well, there's really not a lot going on right here. This is not a really good point where I would say price was getting exhausted. Let me see if I can find a better one. I only showed what I wanted to show here as far as. Well, I can't find a good example. The problem was that people were trying to trade in here because indicators were printing in here, and they're like, oh, well, there's a speed tick. I'm going to get here. Well, this isn't a good setup here. Price is going sideways. So they were forgetting to look for the potential for exhaustion. Excuse me. So it seems so obvious to me when I see bars moving like this. It seems so obvious to me for a long time, and I just couldn't understand. Why do people keep trying to trade this stuff when we don't have this big push? So I said, okay, I need to make it more obvious. So then I went and I created this, what we call the Mo meter. The stronger the momentum, the lighter these bars become. Okay? The more imminent exhaustion or weakness. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. That's the Mo meter. Okay? Does that answer your question? It was a helper tool, but suddenly, as soon as we added that, people started like that was a big aha. They were like, oh, I'll just wait until the bars start turning colors before I even think about taking a trade. Right? So that was to help solve a problem that I had with people jumping in too soon or at the wrong time. Any other questions? All right. Well, I hope we hear from you all soon. See you all in the trade room, trading with us. If you've got anything that you need from us to help, I mean, we're here to help you make sure you're making a good investment decision when it comes to working with us, working with our indicators, working with us as a company. We want you to make an informed decision, and we'll give you anything you need to help you make that informed decision. You just got to ask for it. All right? All right, everybody have a great rest of your evening, and we'll hopefully see you all soon. Bye now.